Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Heiser, Maker's Leather Supply, and I'm going to do a quick video talking about edges. Okay, I made up this nice little notebook today. Saw this pattern on Facebook, and it looked very intriguing. A fellow named Wilson Huang, I believe, drew it up. Pretty awesome. Thought it would be fun to tool, so I thought I'd make me a little notebook to go with the other 9 little notebooks that I have sitting around. But anyway, I know I hadn't specifically done an edge video, and so I wanted to just show my process and what I do. So we'll get to it. First thing we're going to do is sand them. Then we're going to use a Berry King edging tool and cut the corners off, and then we're going to do the burnishing. So here we go. All right, so here we are. This is my Cobra burnisher, but my burnisher, I just use the sanding side. I don't use the burnishing wheel very often. If I have a large order of, say, belts or something, I might start using the burnishing wheel more. But since I don't do custom orders anymore, that's very unlikely to happen anytime soon. So turn it on. I always turn it down to its absolute slowest setting. That's the great thing about the Cobra burnisher is it's got a variable speed, but it also has a reverse. So if you're getting into a hard angle or something like that, it's pretty nice to be able to flip the rotation and make it go the other way. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that edge right there where there's a little bit of roughness, a little bit of glue, stuff like that. Now, when I sand this, I don't want to press hard against the sander because you'll cause it to burn the leather, and you don't want to do that. I'm just sanding it until I know that that's nice and flat all the way across. Okay, and on camera, I'm just going to do one side of all this, but know that I will be doing all the way around this project. Once again, I'm not going to make you watch 30 minutes of me going all the way around this thing. So anyway, so there's that one side, and that's all the sanding I need to do. I can tell all the glue is gone, and we're down to where both layers of leather are perfectly flat across. So next we'll be at the burnishing bench. All right, so I got all my edges sanded. Now, used to be I thought that I would need to use a big old edger on this thing and make this whole profile of this edge just completely round. But I've changed my attitude towards that over the years, and now I just kind of knock the corners off on both sides. Okay, so this is a Berry King size 0 grooved edger. It's a very small edger, and I'm just going to run it along on the front and the back of what I'm doing here. Just like that. And again, I'm going to do it on all sides of this thing, not just the one side that I'm demonstrating for the camera. There we go. Couple more real quick, and we'll be done. All right, one more side here. Okay, so again, you can see the profile of it there. I just barely knocked a little bit of it off. Okay, I didn't make it to where it's just completely rounded. That makes it much more difficult to actually get a good burnish on when you do it that way. So I love Ron's Edge Rub and I love Tokonole. Those are my 2 absolute favorite burnishing agents for vegetable tanned leather. Ron's Edge Rub is absolutely amazing on vegetable tan and bridal and other veg-based tannages. And Tokonole, I like it because it does a lot of other stuff. It'll do some chromes and exotics and things like that. But this jar right here has Elmer's glue and water in it. Okay, 1/3 Elmer's glue, 2/3 water, and makes a pretty nice edge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and I just use a dauber with it. I had a dauber laying here. Let me figure out where I put it. There it is. Okay, I do, this stuff separates, so I did have to shake it up earlier, and so just so you know. And then I take And I just run it right along that edge there. Make sure and get it on there good, but less is more. You don't want to just completely soak the edge in it. You're just putting it on there. And then I take me a piece of canvas. Okay, this is the same canvas that I make bags and stuff out of. It's number 8, which is actually 18 ounce, I believe. Just duck canvas, very heavy canvas. And I do my burnish with it. And it'll get it pretty good, okay? Now I say it'll get it pretty good because I'm actually not going to be done with it after this, okay? So already it's just as glassy as it can be, but it's also, it's not exactly as uniformly colored as I want it to be. So sometimes I'll lay it down here on the side of my bench to get the fronts and the backs a little bit better, like this. But what I really want to do to make sure that I've really got this edge good is I'm going to sand it again, and then I'm going to burnish it again, okay? But I don't have my sanding pad that I use here sitting in front of me. I got to go find it right quick. So when I come back, I'll resand this edge and burnish it again. But it's already nice and slick and shiny. 90% of the edges I see on social media and stuff, people doing their edge work, their edge looks like this, and it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it can look better. So I'll grab my sander and I'll be right back. Okay, found my little sanding block. So this is just a little foam padded sanding block. I got it at Home Depot. It just said fine on it. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably 320 to 400 grit, maybe even less than that. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to lightly sand that same edge that I just used my glue stuff on. And it looks like it's undoing everything I've done. But if you run your finger across it now, it's almost just as smooth as it was when it was burnished. Okay? So I'm going to take that glue, or glue and water mixture, and I'm going to do the exact same thing one more time. And this time you'll notice it doesn't soak in quite as much. It sets on top a little bit more of the leather because you've already sealed that edge a little bit. Okay, so I'll kind of wipe off any excess that I have and wipe it under my table because, you know, just like grade school with your boogies. So, all right, now I'll go back to my canvas and burnish again. And this time, the burnish is much more consistent in color, as well as it doesn't look like it has any spots that got missed at all. Like it's just straight up a nice shiny edge. In just a second, I'll get all the close-up that I can of it as soon as I'm done. A lot of the time when I have kind of a softer edge like this one, because it's not super thick, I'll put it on the edge of my table like this, and then I can really get some pressure on it while I rub on it. Pressure is key to happy burnishing. All right, so hopefully you can see how that looks. Well, now you can't because it just went out of focus. There we go. So anyway, glassy smooth. No, if you look down the side of it, all you see is one shiny line. You don't see ripples and you don't see little specks and holes, and you don't see any separation at all between the layer of the brown and the layer of the natural veg. So I hope this helped. I know a lot of folks struggle with their edges, and edges are important for a very nicely finished piece of work. So until next time, I'm Aaron Heiser of Maker's Leather Supply, and I hope you have a great day.